game in the rewatch series. Now we're starting the SEC, y'all. So it's really starting to get into the meat of last season. As we, really get momentum going into this 2025 season, learning everything we can, getting reacclimated with this team, looking out for, developing stars. In this particular game, Texas versus Mississippi State, our first SEC game ever. First, game, conference play. DeAndre Moore has a big game. Arch has a big game. Trey Wisner emerges, starting to kind of take over that RB1 after some of the Jaden Blue struggles. So we're going to go over all that. Colin Simmons has a big game here. Anthony Hill, all the usual suspects starting to shine in SEC play. As y'all come into the chat, as we start to take attendance here, y'all know what to do. Hit the like button. Subscribe to. It's free to show love. We're trying to get to 15K subscribers by Texas versus Ohio State. Got a lot of work to do. But here's the good news. I only need just like 100 of you guys to subscribe. All the guys that, guys and gals that are watching on a regular basis that are not, subscribing, or you're new here. And hey, welcome. I'm Steve. But subscribe, help us get to 13K. We're right there. Right there at that next little level. So appreciate you guys jumping in. We're going to watch some ball together. It's been exciting. I know we're past media days, at least for the SEC. A lot of people right now bumping their gums, right? Just on socials. It's time to put the pads on. I'm tired of just the online rhetoric, some of the stuff that's being said that's ridiculous. And I understand it's the off season. I understand, hope springs eternal if you're a college football fan, if you're a sports fan. But some of you guys know y'all programs have not been doing the work. Some of y'all know your programs are fraudulent, still out here running your mouths. Some of you guys in other conferences running your mouths, speaking on adult issues, I'll say, when you don't play anybody in the first month of the season. If you're not playing another significant P4 school in August or September, I don't want to hear from you anymore. Please sit down. If you're not playing somebody at any point of your schedule where I look up and I'm like, okay, please sit down. Please sit down. There's just too much gum bumping right now. It's time to put the pads on. H Post, appreciate the super chat here. Thoughts on the Derek Cooper commitment? Nothing but excitement. Big pickup for Coach Scott in the running back room. I think that one was, when did he have his unofficial visit? Like April or something? And I know the back and forth with Miami and all of that, but right now, it feels a really big need. When we look at the classes and how we're slotting these guys, it feels a really big need. Now I feel like the offensive class is more complete, having their signature back there with the quarterback and Diabell, with some more pass catching talent coming in, solidifying the offensive line. So he's a big recruit. I know the big names in terms of the headliners of this class after Diabell or Tyler Atkinson and JJ and the guys on defense, because we've really loaded up on that side of the ball. Super excited to get a home run back like that, somebody that's explosive, complete runner, over 200 pounds, and a little bit different. I know people like to say the Florida backs are raw talent and they need a little bit more coaching, but I do see a little bit more polish with Cooper than some of the other guys that have come out of Florida that have needed a little bit of seasoning in college. I do think he's somebody that can contribute earlier in his career and may even be expected to contribute early, depending on how the room looks in 2026 and 2027. So, exciting times. I appreciate the super chat. And yes, Cider, I'm talking about Indiana. That's one of the schools I'm talking about. And I have respect for Coach Signetti, but the gun bumping from them when they're ducking people like Virginia, come on, man. Come on, man. Let's be for real. Let's be for real. But anyway, do y'all remember 3 weeks ago somebody asked me on here about recruiting and concerned about recruiting? I forgot who it was, but just went we had that whole conversation. I was just like, at this point, I have complete faith in the staff. And look, my, how things have changed in the last few weeks. And that was the week where we really were struggling, right? Where we had a few guys that didn't go our way, and then the Felix thing happened, which I was like, all right. I mean, and I think a lot of people were astutely said, well, those dollars will be allocated elsewhere in the class. It was definitely skies falling talk. And people were like hitting me up, asking me about recruiting. Like, are you worried about recruiting? Hell no. Yeah, I mean, you want to, in this day and age, top targets like that, you're not going to get every single one. You're not going to get every single one. But I told some of those same folks, look out for Tyler Atkinson, who at that point, crystal balls were not coming in. He was still a Georgia lean. Nobody was talking about the Johnson flip at that point, right? So it's just crazy how things work out. But that's again why I've trusted this staff. They have never shown me that they are inept recruiting wise or don't finish strong and end up with. There's a reason why our roster is being poached or one of the prime rosters to be poached. And the recruiting pitch against Texas right now is, oh, if you go there, you're going to have to sit because they're loaded. Well, how does that happen? Right? You have to stack classes in order to have for people to say that, right? So let's jump into the video. But I just wanted to address a couple things before we got started because, you know, some of the narratives out here can be real fun. But H Post, I really appreciate the super chat. Thank you very much. Let me make sure the sound is not playing. But yeah, Mississippi State. Let's watch some film. Arch's second start as a Texas Longhorn. We saw even within the Monroe game, right? Shaky early, made some just uncharacteristic mistakes, young guy mistakes, and then you saw throughout the game we still saw the big throws, and as we went on to really light those guys up. So anyway, tell the tape for Mississippi State. They were obviously one of the worst teams in the SEC. And at this point, they came into the game 1-3. This was freshman Michael Van Buren's first start, who is now at LSU. And Van Buren earned my respect in this game. He battled after what's his name, Blake Chapin was suffered the injury out. We thought we were going to see maybe Chris Parson start this game. You will see Chris Parson in here, former Duncanville quarterback. So they worked both of those guys, and we really, going into this week, I remember we really didn't know what we were going to see. Van Buren was a big-time recruit out of Baltimore, St. Francis Academy, if you know, you know. And I think he's going to eventually become a really good quarterback at LSU. Showed a lot of promise after this game. He went on to throw for 300 yards against Georgia after seeing our defense. So just give you an idea, right? I understand, we were playing cupcakes if you want to go there, but in an SEC game, he was a guy that was very competitive at his position all year as a true freshman. Now, on the defensive side of the ball, Mississippi State was missing a lot of guys, especially in the secondary. So we do have to keep that in mind. They were already a bad team. Now they're down some guys in the secondary, and that was a big issue for them in this game. But, yep, just wanted to provide a little bit more backstory there. So let's jump into it. I'm excited to get into Mississippi State's. Do we get the kickoff? Sorry, I'm just getting this positioned up here. Now, there's been a lot of, while I'm waiting for this to jump back to where it is, there's been a lot of crying about recruiting and whatnot. I'm you know, real recruiting, real relationships, as if y'all ain't spending money. Come on. Vernon Broughton there on the tackle, Alfred Collins. So they're coming out. They're running bear and shoot. Jeff Lebby, head coach, right? Jeff Lebby, who with Dylan Gabriel was able to have some success against us. Very, very, very understanding of our defense. They're a type of team with this bear and shoot. They kind of count the box. If it's a light box, it's run. So here we're on 4th and 1, but I want to pause real quick. Going into that 4th down, I actually like their aggressiveness here to go for it. But the other thing I want to state is in those run calls, what Texas is trying to do is match the numbers on the outside, manipulate the box, and then have those big guys up front really eat space when they're trying to run inside zone against a lighter box, right? So really trying to match up these guys with fewer numbers, and guys have to defeat their blocks, right? Guys have to defeat some of those one-on-one opportunities, which you'll see, which creates some of the negative plays, especially with our linebackers like Anthony Hill, Leifau. You'll see that later in the game. But right now, they're chugging forward. Now they're getting into heavy, more of a condensed set, 4th and 1. Let's see what happens. So they pick up that 1st down, big conversion on their side of the ball. Trey Moores is there on the edge, but we don't have the inside help. 1st down for 4th and 1. And this is all about exactly Allen sustaining drives. So right there, that's actually one of Jalen Gilbo's best plays I've seen him make. That right there, that's what Jade Barron was doing as a nickel for us before. Just being able to play in space, especially on a more of an outside, wide zone type concept. Look where Jalen Gilbo is right now. Right, there's a lineman coming over up top to engage him. He's way up top, right, and he's coming downhill, reads it. Look, defeats this guy, gets upfield, and makes the tackle. So that's a really, really, really nice job by Jalen Gilbo out there in the run. Run some boot action with Van Buren. Very, very good athlete, like I said. So he's able to get a lot of those yards back from a negative play. They're trying to churn the clock. Exactly. Shorten the game. 3rd down. Nothing there. Ugh. Gilbo gets there. Ant Hill gets there, but it's, he's able to pick up those 3 yards just using his legs. Stays alive. Right there, Ethan Burke. Shit. Ethan Burke got to get it popping this year. Now's the time to put it all together. We run a little game with him and Lole. He gets home. Almost creates a turnover. Ethan Burke's going to have so many opportunities this year for plays like that. All right, so now they counter and go with Chris Parson. That's Chris Parson in the game now, where they're going with run game with the extra blocker. What happened there? False start. So 1st and 15. Sent some edge heat with Hill. We miss on that. Ethan Burke miss. Parsons, another good athlete as well. Was able to create some positive yards. They're back to Van Buren. Still inside run. Haven't really been tested downfield yet. They're still playing the box game. Ooh, great play by Anthony Hill. Did he follow that tackle? Yes, he did. This is good football IQ. Look, he's seen the tackle pulling, so he gets underneath him. Great job. Great job. That's what you want from your linebacker instinctively to read that, right? They go for it on 4th down. They can't kick from distance. So let me pause there because we're about to take over on offense. So they, as you guys can see, they ran off what 6, 7 minutes on their opening drive. They did not score. Didn't feel comfortable kicking from that range. Jade Barron breaks up that slant as he does, which is why he won the Thorpe. But um, you know, great job by the defense settling down, not allowing points, understanding that Mississippi State is again in that veer and shoot. There's a lot of different ways you can play it, and they're trying to get physical, running the ball, eating up clock, and then using the quarterback's legs to run around and extend drives. Arch's second game. So we've been tracking. What do we run first play of the game? We've run now 2 straight games with these deep comebacks. Now Arch is complete on that one. I think he was incomplete in the Monroe game. But 3 straight games now where we weren't side to side. Remember the first 2 games, what was it? Colorado State and Michigan, we ran swing passes to Jaden Blue, right, with Quinn. UTSA game, Quinn, we did throw downfield on the first play of the game. Now here, deep comeback again, off play action, 2 straight games, UL Monroe, Mississippi State. I'm documenting this just to see how Sark calls plays with the quarterback that he has in the game in terms of establishing that early comfort of what that person wants to do. And it's been interesting in terms of the downfield aggressiveness that he shows with Arch. So first play of the game, right? He's it's not a shot play, but they're getting aggressive. This is an aggressive play call for first down. But we did that the week before as well. And that's, just good ball, accurate football on the rope. Getting the ball immediately to your playmaker. Let him make some money. Plus you get the face mask. Arch is sensational in this game. Even with the injuries, going 25 or 26 or 31 for 3-something and a whole bunch of tutties is tough. All right, another stick route there. Take what the defense gives you. He's driving the football. They're playing way off. Easy money. Double tights. So it's 12 personnel. Play action. We actually play action on the counter into a screen. Nothing there. They were all over Gunnar Hill. Ooh, fake pump wheel to DeAndre. So DeAndre's running that wheel out of the slot. We fake the screen, right? Pump the screen. Pump and go, kind of. He pumps the screen. And great ball placement. That right there is a dime. But that also, I want to say this real quick before we see the touchdown. That right there is one of the plays I think of when I'm like, DeAndre Moore could have had a touchdown there. I don't know if you want to say maybe if the ball's thrown a half second earlier, blah, blah, blah. But I thought it was a great throw. But that right there, like DeAndre Moore had 7 touchdowns last year, essentially as a role player in this offense. We'll say that because right now he's a starter, but he's not Matthew Golden, right? He has 7 touchdowns last year as a role player, and he has plays like that all over the film where he either is catching the ball at the 1-yard line or has a drop in the end zone. So that's why I'm saying, like, he, to me, is going to have a massive statistical jump this year, just with the volume alone. On top of another year of experience, on top of being the next man up, on top of his relationship with Arch that we've seen. This is proof of concept. I really think the sky is the limit for DeAndre Moore statistically. That he had 7 touchdowns in that one, he didn't even score. So just keeping that in mind. All right, heavy condensed. You know what we like to do. We get the power run game in. Good job, Hayden Connor. Good job, Kelvin Banks. Everybody in there. Woo, woo, woo. Jaden Blue, easy money touchdown. Look at that wash down by the offensive line. And you know what? It does make a difference when I know Arch just handed the ball off, but just him being a running threat kind of freezes the defense a little bit. They can't sell out. They can't sell out because there's a threat he can pull. So you don't see the same aggressiveness upfield. All right, let's get back to defense. You see how light the box is? Well, there's only 6 people in the box. All right, now they go condense. Get a little bit of motion, but this is really still a very condensed set for, especially for Baron Shoot. They try to get cute and run this end around with not end around, but a jet sweep thing with Kevin Coleman. Good job by Manny Muhammad there on the tackle. Jade Barron pass breakup. Great job. Great job. 3 and out. 3 and out. So they didn't get to run clock here. That's what happens when you do your work early. Great job by Jade. And he had inside help with Taff. It wasn't, I mean, that ball had to be perfect for him to be able to make a play, but that's great sticky coverage. Punt. Silas. What? That's a fair catch by Silas Bolden, ladies and gentlemen. No adventures there. All right, we're getting started. Rip it. Look at that. Was that end breaking kind of dig route from Isaiah Bond? We're off and running. Sark said this in the pregame of this game leading up to it. He called Arch an explosive football player. And he was talking about just kind of measuring that with, utilizing his checkdowns and whatnot, but he's too explosive not to just give him those opportunities to really throw the ball downfield. And you see that immediately. Look how aggressive we're being on first down, guys. We're being very aggressive on first down. I understand it's this opponent and whatnot, but is this what this Texas offense is going to look like in 2025 under Arch Manning? I mean, great pace on that ball. It's wide open, so it's not like first down, tip pass, but they're throwing downfield again, even on that play. Right here, now we go to a screen, right? Great job, great block by DeAndre Moore there. I want to go back to that. It's almost like trips. Yeah. Moore, great block. Wingo, that's a good block by Wingo. That's exactly what you want. Now we're out of condense. Get it to Gunnar Helm. Make a play in space. That's fine. Good tackle by that guy. Still 5 yards. Now we're running outside zone. You see, like they're throwing to set up the run. Yeah, this is where we fumble. You're right. The first Jaden Blue fumble. And this is why we weren't able to blow this game open early. I mean, I was at a wedding, so I actually did not watch this game live. And I remember just kind of checking my phone thinking, what is going on? Why are we going to halftime? I think we were in the halftime 7-6. Like, what's going on? And when you're not watching the game, you don't have context, right? You don't have context on how Mississippi State is manipulating the clock on offense, how much time they ran off the clock their very first drive, the fact that our defense didn't respond with a 3 and out, our offense went right back down the field, and then a fumble, right? And then some of the mistakes start to come into play. So it's a little bitty things, that right now we're on our way to 14-0. This feels like we're on our way to 14-0. It's 3rd and 1. We're in the red area. I mean, fumbles the football. Now, I don't love that play call running so deep outside like that on 3rd and 1. I like something a little bit more quick hitting, but either way, you got to protect the football right here. This is not even crazy contact. That's not crazy contact at all. I mean, great tackle. The center of gravity from 10 with his pad level. His pad level is really good defensively, but a good back right there. You got to, and Jaden Blue, hopefully he's learning with the Cowboys. I need him to. But that right there, that's inexcusable. That was one of all of his fumbles, which there was a lot of. That was one of the more frustrating ones. And now momentum, right? So the defense is right back on the field. Sudden change. They get a first down on their first run, but David Benda is able to come here. Um, yep, shoots the gap. Great job. David Benda was so good at that. At like if there was a gap right there to shoot, that was easy money for him. All right, so we create a negative play on that one, 2nd and 11. H-Pro said, I need to see some more inside zone in those situations. I agree. It should be back on the menu with Cedric Baxter. Should be. Greetings from Minnesota. What's up, Balta? What's up? Greetings. Ooh, look at this play by Andrew Makuba. This is one of my. He's playing way off, and you see how he drives. He drives on that. Just great job, great job, great pass breakup. 3rd and 11. Oh, that's frustrating. So Alfred Collins makes a great play there. Actually gets his hand on the ball to help us out. It's kind of weird though because Van Buren's checking the ball down on a 3rd and 11. So I don't know what the hell happened with our spacing. Good clear out concept, honestly, by Levy to just run everybody off. He's checking the ball down, so we should be able to rally and tackle, but there's a lot of space. And look, Alfred Collins defeats his guy. He gets upfield, gets his hands up, hits the ball. Maybe that was Trey Moore, but I thought it was Alfred Collins. And they get the first down. So that's frustrating. Keeps the drive alive. That's got to be a hold on Trey Moore up top. My goodness. Yeah. Yeah. I was about to say. Look at the left tackle. Yeah. Good call. All right. Another we're starting. There's a lot of negative plays here. These guys are overcoming some of this stuff. Good job, Leona Leifau. Good tackle in space. Second quarter, as you see, we flip the field. Was that Lele? I guess made the tackle. 3rd and 8. Ooh, they take a shot. What happened? Craver didn't see the ball. Gavin Holmes, press man. Ooh, Craver didn't see the ball. That's a completion. That's not a bad throw. Consider. Ooh, yeah, he didn't see the. I don't think he saw the ball well. That's interesting. He didn't see the ball. I don't think because it's kind of right there for him to make a play on that. Agree, David. The Bulldogs fought hard in this game. You could tell their season was already on the line right now, and like he might need LASIK like Wingo. That's funny. Yeah, he completely did not. That's poor ball tracking. It's poor ball tracking. All right. I think this drive was not good. We have a miss there. Just trying to lay it. That one needs to be more of like a layer type throw. So Quinn normally would hit on something like that. So let's see, who's this? Wisner. Now Wisner's starting to get some carries because Blue's starting to fumble the football. So the door's opening up. What's the flag for? Oh, holding. So this is why this drive was a muck. 2nd and 20, play action. Good job, DJ Campbell. That's more of a coverage sack. Nothing was there. We don't have all 22 on this, so I can't see what the route combos were downfield. But holding penalties lead to the drive ending, period. Holding penalties kill you, kill you, kill you. The chances of your drive ending once there's a holding penalty are like 80%. It's very hard to overcome those. Yeah, maybe he could have checked it down to the left if he had stayed a little bit more patient in the pocket. Now it's third and whatever. I'm fine with that. That's a good decision by Arch. A lot of young quarterbacks may have tried to force that, right? Checks the ball down. Not a great punt. So now the ball's, I know we were punting out of our end zone, but now they almost blocked it too. Whoa, boy, special teams. So yeah, this is not good special teams right here. From blocking to executing the kick, ball was tipped. Yeah, that's not good. That's not good. So now they're already in scoring range. They are hammering inside zone. Like these, great job, David Benda. Look how many people they have in the box too. I was talking about numbers game. They're bringing people into the box now. It's a really good job. We blitz from depth on 3rd and 3. Don't love that play call, honestly, with the way they've been playing. Then they go boot. Ooh, Michael Taff. Awesome play. He's swagging on him. Mookie swagging on him. And that's their wide receiver one, Coleman. Lole almost got himself a sack. Lole got there. Let's see. 2nd and 10. Only 2 yards. Now 3rd and long again. Let's see what happens. Ooh, fumble snap. That's tough. They got a kick. That's almost an unforced opportunity, but they've got a lot going on in the backfield too. All that motion. Wonder if that was going to be a play action kind of boot to the left. 45 yards. Got it. So 7-3. Juan Davis had so few opportunities in 2024. Had he been more successful early in the season, I think Sark would find a way to involve him more. He was still playing a lot though because he was so useful in our that we got to talk about this play here. This is why Wisner earned his respect, earned his stripes, if you know what I mean. But in terms of Juan Davis, he contributed so much in the blocking game, but you're right, pass wise. I wish we didn't smoke his eligibility in 2021, honestly. What a run after the catch. He's catching this ball. 11 has a beat on him. He takes that lateral step almost backwards kind of and then accelerates upfield. That's a hell of a play. It's contact balance. So Cole Hudson's in there now for DJ. They were rotating. We get nothing on that. Kind of sweep to the right. Great job by Arch to check that down. Also, Arch, if you're starting to notice, let me pause real quick. Arch's clock is starting to get better. Even from UTSA to now, his clock and awareness in terms of traffic and whatnot, he is starting to speed himself up in a good way. Not rushing, okay? Having a sense of urgency without rushing yourself, right? But understanding I don't have time to just lollygag back here either. UTSA game when he got hit off that one corner blitz, you could tell he had not really gotten acclimated to the speed of the game yet. Right now, you're already starting to see him, all right, Reed's not there, boom, boom, get to my check down. Let's keep getting some positive yards. All right, 3rd and 9. Let's see what we got. Shots. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Jonte. That's a touchdown. Is there another universe where he catches this and runs into the end zone? He's still a Texas Longhorn today. Is there another universe on Earth 618? If we're Earth 616, I don't know what Earth we are, but is there another part of the multiverse? Is this a nexus point in the multiverse? I mean, that's just it's tough, right? Because great players have drops happen, right? Go rewatch. I hate to bring this up, but go rewatch 2008 Texas versus Texas Tech. I think it's either the end of the first quarter or the beginning of the second quarter. The great Jordan Shipley. Colt McCoy delivers a dime, and Jordan Shipley dropped one just like this. It was that Texas Tech game that we lost. So it happens. But in the case of Jonte Cook, when you're not seeing the field a whole lot and you're not getting a whole bunch of opportunities, and then you get in here and they're trusting you, and you get an opportunity like this. I mean, and this isn't Quinn, where again, no disrespect to Quinn, but Arch is putting this thing in his hands. Remember Shannon Sharp used to say, walk it to him? This is a walk it to him throw. Arch is walking the ball to him. I mean, where the hell else do you want the football, man? It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. He didn't even throw it to where it's all up in the air hole. Like he threw that. It's like perfect. So the encouraging thing though is that the shots are always going to be there with Arch. Damn it. So we got a punt. That's the other thing. It was on third down. So not only do you drop a touchdown, these are the reasons why this game was close in the first half, as you guys can see. BS like that. I do wonder, though, if he catches that and runs it in and it's a touchdown, I think that does a world for his confidence. That would have been what his third touchdown in the last 3 games at that point. Because remember, he had 2 earlier. And he was, even though his targets were shaky, we were getting him some work. All right, so Kevin Coleman makes a really good play there. Remember, he was a big recruit that went to Jackson State a couple years ago before transferring. These guys are tough, or running tough. Michael Taft, great job at the point of attack. Just living in between tackles. There's Colin Simmons. Great job. 3rd and 2. It's a big-time run by Mississippi State. They are killing it when they're pulling. I've noticed this. When they're pulling to the right, they're pulling the tackle and the tight end. They pulled multiple people. To that right side. I mean, damn. Anthony Hill got stonewalled. Stop, JB. Colin Simmons said, enough is enough. All right, 1st and 10. Yep. I know the guy fell down, the pulling guy, that tight end fell down again, but Colin Simmons just destroyed that one. All right, now we're trying to shoot a little bit. We got a little too far field. Yeah, it was the weak side defensive end, David. But I know what you meant. It was the weak side guy. When they pull like that, we've got to get better upfield to where they have to stretch it out laterally. You can't let people pull like that and the dude cuts it up. That's when those chunk plays happen. Remember, this is what some of these plays, these GT counters, is what Lincoln and them used to make their money on OU. Kennedy Brooks scored on us to win the freaking game on a direct snap guard tackle counter. And these guys are pulling the tight end. All right. 11 personnel. Jaden Blue's back in the game. Another opportunity. Looked like he was getting more chance to get some yards. Ooh, we didn't block that guy. Ryan Wingo, that's tough. Trips left. Check down. Third. That's great football by Arch on 3rd and 8. Just make it look routine. Hit your check down. Keep the chains moving. For another first down. So now we're in 2-minute drill. 2-minute drill. I like Arch's running 2-minute drill right now, y'all. Now they send a delay heater. That was a good blitz. 3rd and 6. We did the 2-for-1, but we got it on the 1. That was a 2-for-1 play call. Now it's holding. Damn. So you think you're safe. That's frustrating, right? Sark calls the 2-for-1 right there. When I say 2-for-1, run 2 plays to get that 6 yards on 3rd down, right? So you gotta go with that run play. But anyway, you think you're safe because you're running the ball, and then it's a freaking holding. Longhorn Football Edits, thank you for the super chat. Just add to the tip jar. Everyone make sure to like and subscribe. Yes, thank you. Sub up, please subscribe. Thank you so much. Yep, Art's going through his progressions. All right, 3rd and 9. 2-minute drill. Dime. This is why that play right there is why people. That's how you become a number 1 pick. This is everything you want to see from a toughness standpoint, from a situational standpoint, from an arm talent standpoint. He's showing everything right here from a understanding. He knows heaters are coming. He knows that. Dime. Ball placement. Perfect. Best selling. One of the best sellies. Dime. Sark told you, and I'm going to keep saying this about Arch because Sark said it, explosive. Yes, that does remind you of Joe Burrow at LSU. That's a killer. We're going to watch it one more time just for the vibes. That's a killer right there. It's 3rd down. 2-minute drill. Advantage Mississippi State in terms of leverage right now. Knows the heaters are coming. Right? This isn't going to be the drop back where I'm going to be able to go through progressions. I got to know what I'm doing right now, and the aggressiveness, which is the common theme with Arch, right? Which is again why Sark's saying, "Hey man, he's an explosive player. He's an explosive football player. Just stand and deliver." So phenomenal job. It does remind you of Burrow. It does, because you're dropping the ball like that situationally, man. Situationally. I don't remember Quinn getting drilled. I don't remember Quinn getting drilled like that on the throw to Worthy. he's getting hit on his third step of the drop, and he's throwing. It's a great play. Frustrating half. Not a whole lot of opportunities. A lot of penalties, and getting seven there. Look at that. Seven's unblocked. Cam Williams did the correct thing, by the way, of taking the inside guy first. You always take the immediate threat first. So Cam Williams, that's that like he had to block two people. So you take the inside guy, let outside. That's exactly why you block it that way. If you know heaters are coming, the quarterback has to account um, for that while throwing. 100%. Nice kickoff. Yeah, there's going to be a delay on here because I'm sharing through an app and running this thing on like 4K HD. So there's gonna be when I'm replaying. If I stop to replay it, there'll be a little bit of lag at times. Just got to deal with it. All right, let's see. The Quinn disrespect needs to end. I don't think we're being disrespectful. I don't think anybody's being disrespectful. At least I'm not. All right. I believe we get the ball. Yeah, we get the ball. I have Texas to receive. Oh, you said the comments. Hmm. I know that's the name of the game. People are always excited for the next guy. Um, Outside zone, Jaden Blue. Ugh, that's the first play out of half. Yeah, you guys hit that like button. I didn't realize he fumbled the first. Jeez, man, that's so close, so close to being a great player. So close. That's the first play out of half, and we're running. Great job to cut it back, get upfield, cut it up, boom, gets upfield, protect the like. Ugh, man, if Billingsley was his pops, if you remember Billingsley's dad from Friday Night Lights with the duct tape, that would have been nasty work. I'm grateful for Blue. I mean, he did a lot of great stuff. Uh, yeah, that's also communication, David. That's also that's also communication. If he's gonna go into his stance, he has to know that any inside guys are accounted for. Like if you're gonna go there, you know what I mean. Like he has to account for that. See, but this again, it's just pausing real quick because I'm talking while stuff's happening. Um, just in terms of the pass pro responsibilities there, that just has to be communicated. But if it's not, or you're unsure, I rather the right tackle do what he did than assume, set up outside, and then somebody comes in inside untouched. But to your point, if you communicate it well, you can block it all up. Absolutely. Absolutely. Uh, yeah. The turnovers here just really frustrating. And this is what led to ultimately Jaden didn't get a carry in the Georgia game, if y'all remember. He killed it in the passing game. He caught a whole bunch of balls in the passing game, but he didn't get a carry in the Georgia game. Now let's talk about Vernon Broughton here because this is a hell of a play. Sack fumble. I'm over here just talking over that. So let's back it up because I'm gonna just back up the whole defensive set. It's actually a good throw. He's throwing at Jade Barron and gets a completion, which was rare. Inside run. How many feet are in a mile? What was it? 5,000 feet, 5,032 feet or something like that. Whatever it was. How many feet are in a mile? I want you to run every damn one of them. Great job. This is why Vernon Broughton plays like this got drafted. He knew exactly how to wedge himself in there too. Perfect. Yeah, 5,280 feet. It was perfect. All right. It's okay. We're playing at tempo here. But we get the first down completion. Arch. Ugh. See right there, just got a little unsure. We got the face mask though, which got him out of it. But we want to see Arch be a little bit more decisive there. Overall, he's playing really good football. Now we're running Wisner. This is what leads to oh boy eventually getting over 1,000 yards rushing. Ugh. Gunnar Helm false start. We didn't we played hard and physical, but we weren't clean in this game. Screen. Look at Kelvin Banks. That's a highlight reel block for a left tackle. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? They called holding, but look at what Kelvin Banks does. Who they call holding on? They call holding on Gunnar Hill. Did he really have back-to-back penalties? Look at Kelvin Banks. he went. He went. The flag was on Gunnar Helm. The hold was on Gunnar Helm, which that is a hold. That's a good call. But Kelvin Banks, how many left tackles are getting out in space and doing this? I need y'all to see this in not in the slow mo. This deserves. I know so many explosive plays called back. Look at 78. He is hauling ass. Damn. I'd be terrified if I was a DB and I saw somebody that big, that fast running after me. Like goodness gracious. No, that was a hold on Gunnar Helm. To me, that's a hold. He got 10 up top. Right there, he's fine. Right there, that's a hold. Initial contact, he was fine. Then he got him up top. He's got both his shoulder pads. I mean, that's a holding call, guys. Sucks because it eliminated a big explosive. Now we're in 3rd and 17. They're only rushing threes. 8 people in coverage. Good job to get that back to get a field goal attempt. which we bang in from 49 yards, and then a flag. So let's go back here. It's 3rd and 17. A 3rd and 17. Mississippi State essentially drops 8. Yeah. That's good execution to get some of that back. Flag. Oh, is this when we sent the offense back out and we took points off the board and then we end up doing a turnover on downs? I think this is that drive. Yeah. He's offsides. Uh yeah. Sark, I don't think he's this is also that decision I think was dictated based upon the opponent and the frustration of this game. I don't know if he's necessarily taking points off the board if we're playing a different type of team. I think that was frustration for several reasons, but because that play call wasn't that was a the play, the throw, everything just seemed funky on that 4th and 3. That was really, really funky. That's another turnover. It's another turnover. So Chris Parsons back in the game. Mississippi State is still in the game. It's almost halfway through the third quarter. They're still in the game. Look at that. They get underneath there. They get enough contact because of the edges. Colin Simmons, good job. He's trying to fight through tight ends and H backs and tackles. Benda, Simmons, Hill. Van Buren's starting to get into a little rhythm. A little bit. They're keeping it simple too. Young quarterback. He's either going to pull, run. They're either going to run it inside or he's going to throw a slant. Now they get cute. Reverse. That's a block in the back. Was that Michael Taft? Yeah. Michael Taft's in position. Easy call. Big man didn't need to touch him because I don't know if Michael Taft's going to make that tackle. He may have slowed him up, but big man didn't. Once he tagged him like that, that was a nasty penalty. Bad teams getting their own way. Now it's 3rd and 18. You see how quickly all that momentum. Bad teams do stupid stuff, and now these dudes are in 3rd and 18 with Colin Simmons. I knew that was. I think that was the first sack he had. This get off is crazy. This is why we want to do two things this season. Pause it right here. I keep telling y'all, I want. Speaking since we got a Manning, back in the Dungy days, their goal was to jump on people early, scoring wise, because they had, for you young boys out here that don't remember or don't know, the Colts of the 2000s had not one but two elite edge rushers, pass rushers, two of the best in the league, and Dwight Freeney and Robert Mathis. And one of their goals every week, and this is how they were winning a ton of games in the regular season, was to get up on people 14, 17-0, right? Something early, get up by a couple scores to really push the opponent to pass the football, to push the opponent so they could pin their ears back and hunt. Now, they ran into problems in the playoffs because they didn't play against the run well and physicality and all that type of stuff. And if you're able to stay on time versus the Colts, obviously that hurts your pass rush. But for the Texas Longhorns this year, to me, that I want to have a similar approach, right? Of getting them these type of opportunities. 3rd and 18, right? You know the ball's coming out. But even on 3rd and 9, it's like anything 3rd and 7 beyond, like those are premier pass rushing opportunities, especially when it's 3rd and long like that. And if they're trying to get a first down, like they may hold the ball extra tick. Those are opportunities to get sacks. And I think that's where Texas could eventually see our first double-digit sack guy since the said Reed, Jackson Jeffcoat year in 2012. It's been that long. So if we can really get up on people, the offense is going to dictate those opportunities, is what I'm saying. But this is OMG stuff. Tackle has no chance. 66, no chance. His speed to power too, right? Because he's getting his second step. He's already at full speed. Now he can just bull through the dude. Speed to power, hand swipe. 66 is nothing. He has no. That's incredible stuff. It's a 3-strap drop. He got there faster than the blitzing corner. Special talent. Special talent. You know when you see it. I saw it at Duncanville. Look at Silas. The Adventures of Silas Bolden. That's a spinoff TV show right there on Amazon Prime. All right. Now, condensed set out of trips. Silas, Jonte, and Wingo in the game. So, guys getting some opportunities. Arch, great job. Was that Jonte Cook's last catch as the Texas Longhorn? Running a deep crosser. Beats his man. It's man coverage. I remember being like, when I did rewatch this game, I remember thinking like, great job by Jonte to bounce back and, catch the next opportunity, right? That's a 31-yard play. It's an explosive play. So it's just unfortunate, right? Because Bond goes down later in the season and just never was the same again. And that was the opportunity right there, right? Regardless of what DeAndre Moore was doing. It's a long developing route, but just, again, throwing the football with pace. Look at Arch's feet. The footwork. Squares up, right? Drives the football. I agree. That was a great pass by Arch. Great footwork. He just looks comfortable in the pocket. I mean, when you see it. Just looks like a freaking stud quarterback, man. Great physical run by Wisner. DJ Campbell. Williams. Let's see, Juan Davis is getting active down there on the left side. Starting to get physical in the run game. Trying to throw to set up the run was the game plan here. So 3rd-and-1. Inside. Almost fullback trap type with Gibson. John Mateer, that's a good point, and this is what I need to see with Mateer. Mateer is amazing off schedule, off script. But can he be consistent when things are, like that, like, in the pocket? Because sometimes there's times where he will speed himself up trying to be too creative. Almost like Johnny Manziel back in the day. Like Johnny was amazing, but sometimes it was like, bro, you didn't need to like run around for no reason. Like the play was right there. But there's times where Mateer does some of that stuff. He's going to be a fun, exciting player to watch. He has a ton of talent. I think he's going to be productive. But there's times where it's like, hey, I need you to stand there and drive the football like what we're seeing with Arch in the frame of the offense, and he will sail something on a seam, for example, and throw it right to a safety. You will see that on film. He has Pro Football Focus tracks this stuff. There's a lot of turnover worthy throws. So we have to see if he's cleaned that up in his game from Washington State to OU. It's a question I have about Mateer because it's on film. Arch pump. Look at the decisiveness. Now I don't love him getting hit like that. I don't love him getting hit like that, but like the decisiveness to get upfield and get yards, we just haven't had that at quarterback recently. Again, don't love him getting hit like that, but after a negative play, look at he's evading somebody. Look at this. I mean, come on, man. That's another explosive play. Yes, he needs to learn how to protect himself, but the boy, athlete now. And bounds and bounds and bounds. I mean, that's almost like the Texas A&M touchdown, only from further away. Boy's an athlete now. Look, I'm not saying this is the stiffest competition, okay? But you're looking for signs and traits, and they're obviously there in spades. He's generating an explosive play almost every it's insane. I think that's part of the problem. I think he's making it look too easy. I think people are giving up, but he's running very fast. They don't have a chance to get there. I agree, David. I think he's made it look so easy that people think it's easy. Because even what y'all just brought up, whoever it was that was talking about Mateer, I'm sorry, I'm just mine's all over the place. But like we just talked about like him having problems in the pocket, executing within the framework of the offense, right? Like he does show propensity to do some of those things. Like Arch just does that naturally with no problem. We don't see him sailing a whole bunch of passes. We don't see the ball, the location. He drives the football when he needs to drive the football. We've talked ad nauseum about his deep throws. Then the guy, whenever he's taken off from the pocket, he has the potential to go up to 21 miles per hour. This is insane. He's making it. The problem is he made it look so easy that I don't think people are fully. That's a date your daughter run right there. What's up, Ashley? Drew Yanez said deceptive speed. That's a lunch pail kind of guy. Coach's son. Trey Wisner. He was hungry. Wisner was hungry. Wisner was hungry. This is how he earned. This is how you earn a job. The other guys fumbling the football. The other guys had injury problems. Whatever. I don't care. He's running through tackles. I know this is not technically a touchdown, but like, it's the fight. Like when they go through that in film room, like let's fight. Look, we can do quarterback sneak with Arch. Lord knows we can never do QBs. Remember, every time we try to do quarterback sneak with Quinn, it was either a penalty, a fumble, or chaos would ensue. Just he does a quarterback sneak like better than half the NFL quarterbacks. That's how you're supposed to do quarterback sneak. It's pad level, everything. It's the little things. There's a lot of guys in the NFL when you watch them do quarterback sneak, they don't do it correctly. and I'm not even talking about tush push, they're going to be able to do some NFL type stuff that has not been on the menu, even from boot out of boot. I mean, but the thing with Quinn's QB, like we would fumble, or the or there'd be a penalty, or like snap encroachment, or some chaos would ensue because it just wasn't comfortable. Like either he didn't know how to do it or it wasn't comfortable. I really think you're gonna see more of a TJ Campbell's hilarious. Did you see number 40? He just said, "Get out of my way," as he was flexing on him. I love DJ Campbell. Pad level's great by the offensive line, by the way, driving in the end zone. When you can QB sneak like this, those fourth and that fourth down, that chaos that happened at the Red River happens because you don't have that in your playbook. When you get that close, that should be automatic. Like somebody brought up Brady in them. Like, what was 40 doing after the play? That's funny. All right, fourth quarter. Fourth quarter. It's a frustrating game, but we're learning a lot. There's a lot of lessons out of this game. Um, and I think we ended up having a bye week after this before the OU game. I'm gonna do the OU game tomorrow, by the way. So we ain't going nowhere. We're hop back on Friday afternoon or into evening time, 5:30, 6, whatever. Well, we're gonna watch the OU game tomorrow. So that's when Quinn comes back. Big boy throw. Oh, you got to help the quarterback out. I know the ball location is not great. Why is Manny Muhammad so beat? What happened? Was that him? Why are you 10 yards behind the guy? What the hell happened? Also, receivers, right here. Help your quarterback out, man. Especially young guy. I know the ball location, it's over the wrong shoulder or whatever, but like help me out, bro. But Manny, oh, let me back this up. I'm getting caught up on the throw and not what happened. Did he do a double move? What the hell happened? He just got his ass beat. Deshaun Jameson used to have moments like that where he would just kind of fall asleep sometimes. There's like nothing wrong, like not technique problem. He just would just just kind of get bored or lulled out there. But you got to know, like, my thing is they just scored, right? Situational awareness. It's 21-6, beginning of the quarter, flip. They're going to take a shot, bro. The shots are coming, right? The game's starting to slip away. They're going to either a shot or a trick play. Like, you got to be thinking this as a player, in my opinion. A coach shouldn't have to tell you this to me. Like, just understanding ball. Like, all right, we just scored. We're starting to creep away from them. They've been pretty consistent hammering it. Like, now is the time that a shot is coming. You know what I mean? So just having that awareness. All right, is that Colton Vlasic? That's a sack. That's another one. That's another one who, if he's ever consistently healthy or right, man, that's a good throw. Van Buren's gonna be good, man. When at LSU, he's gonna have a year of seasoning behind Nussmeier. But y'all remember, that's the type of quarterback. that's closer to a Jaden Daniels. That's the type of quarter that BK really prefers. He's gonna be good. This is his first game in DKR. Like, I mean, first game true freshman from Baltimore. And he's in DKR battling. Look at his feet. And what I pay attention to with these dudes, great hustle, Vernon Broughton, with all these quarterbacks is their feet, especially the young guys. Like, does it look like because the feet will tell you if they're rushing or they're overthinking things, all this type of thing. He doesn't. He looks calm. That was a good punt. All right, screen DeAndre Moore. Good job. 8 yards, 7 8 yards. Brian Kelly might not be there when. All right, Cole Hudson. Yeah, Wisner took the job this game. Wisner took the job this game. That's great running. That's a face mask. Goodness gracious. I know more that's not a face mask for DeAndre Moore. Jared Gibson getting active. Now we're in scoring range. Play action. I mean, come on, man. And Brooks Austin, by the way, who does covers Georgia, he's been very complimentary of Arch and thinks that Arch is developing very nicely. This is one of the plays he broke down in terms of his football IQ, and just being aware of that check down on that play. It was an interesting breakdown. Yeah, Brooks broke that down the other day. I saw that, and that was the play he was talking about because he's really reading the whole field, but he's also aware of those guys and is able to still get to his check down. Wisner, damn, and it's a hold. Even Quinn's like, man, my boy is eating. Quinn's like, my boy is eating right now. You can feel it. You can feel it. Get the hold. So you run through contact. 21's diving. I agree, David. Because Jared Gibson, I love the way he runs. He naturally runs like that. Nice catch by Wingo. The ball was behind him. That was not a good throw, and he helped the quarterback out. That's a good job. 3rd 2. RPO kind of to Golden. Good job. To Bubble. Another penalty. Jesus. These penalties were insane. How many penalties do we have in this game? I mean, the penalties have gotten out of control. Dime. Is that a penalty there? This was a legit touchdown, right? All right, it's a legit touchdown. I can't even remember because the penalties were like we were creating explosive play like every other snap, but then there's the penalty. I'm going back. Arch was cooking, man. Agree, JB. I mean, this is great football. Like he's creating explosive plays on third and longs, guys. This is third and 9. It's third and 9. It's what, 27-yard touchdown? Look at his feet, calm. Always delivers a good anything downfield. He's delivering catchable football, and this is why DeAndre Moore is going to eat next year. Belt to ass. That's crazy. Belt to ass. That's crazy. That was a crazy celebration. I love it though. That was literally a belt to ass celebration. Sark is about to. I feel like he's gonna lift up Sark as a play call. Sark needs to be at his best these next couple. He should always be at his best. Let me stop. But I mean, yeah, he was a little late on that pass. I agree, but we're not missing the explosives like we typically do. Just an observation. All right, what's the score now? Is it 28-6? Yeah, it's 28-6. Van Buren's still battling. That's a hell of a throw and a hell of a catch. Almost a switch release. Man, Makuba was right there. Makuba's right there. But I'm tipping my hat. I like Van Buren, man. I was saying it. I was saying it when I was watching the game. And what were we saying before, right? On the previous one when Manny Muhammad got beat. You're coming back off of another score. These are things to keep in mind. If you're watching this chat and you play football, just keep this in mind when you're watching the game and anticipating certain things. We are now creating a lot of separation. The time is running out. They're going to take a shot. Just think a shot is coming. The shots are coming, right? And they're coming on. They're not gonna run the ball on 1st and 10 right now when there's 9 minutes left in the game and now they're down 3 scores. The shot is coming, right? They're not gonna run a screen. They're gonna take shots. They took a shot on the first down the last play after the score. They're taking a shot right now. So just being alert for those things. Yeah, Makuba has to get there quicker, but that's a heck of a throw and catch by Van Buren. Makuba has to help him on that. But just the player, they got to understand a shot like situational awareness, I should say, is key. Situational awareness, because that immediately gets them into the scoring area. I agree. That's not bad coverage from Gavin Holmes. That is not bad coverage. Like, that's as good as you want. He's supposed to have inside help, and the ball was completed inside. That's not bad coverage. That was definitely way more on Andrew Makuba than it was on Gavin Holmes. He's supposed to have inside help. Okay, a little sidearm action for Nutty. Great tackle, Jade Barron, as usual. Terrific job. Clock's running. It was a great play. Tackled him in bounds. See, now the clock is running against them because it's taking them a while to score. And I think he scored on this one, on the quarterback keeper. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, we got too far upfield. Too far afield. It made it a very easy read for the quarterback. Good play call, too, by Levy to go QB run there. Levy, people need to study him a little bit when attacking us, only for this reason. He's had some success the last couple of years against us, whether it was at OU or this game, with some of the quarterback run stuff when they've kept it. Whether it was Dylan Gabriel's explosive run or that one right there, or some of the earlier Chris Parson runs, he's figured something out versus PK in that regard. Not that he's having this overwhelming type of success. That's not my point. But just in terms of some of the quarterback run exploiting how PK is, you know, attacking some of these gaps. There's just something there that is causing that because it's been consistent now. Good outside run. Very, very good outside run. Good physical run. I think we get one more score up here. Yeah, Wisner just earning that job. I think he finished with 88 yards in this game, and he came off the bench for Jaden Blue. What happened right there? Did we lose contain? Boot action. Accurate. Good accurate throw. I haven't seen him miss those throws, man. And around a Bond. See you later. Man, when he was healthy, Bond had a pretty complete game. He had 74 yards on in the air, and then this rushing touchdown on the end around, which we've now run with him. We've run with Wingo earlier. Wingo, similar play, not the exact same play, but similar. Wingo had the 55-yarder versus Michigan. Now we've extended it. So they scored, we answered 35-13. Van Buren's running around. Coleman, great job on the broken tackle, good yards upfield. Kevin Coleman had a good game. We're over pursuing a little bit for the pocket right now instead of condensing the pocket with a mobile guy. Just got a little too antsy on some of our pass rushing sets because we could have had more sacks even than what we got. But Colin Simmons, good morning. You all see Colin Simmons right there? Let's go back in case you missed it. I'd say high passing yardage. He's going to take way more shots. And sometimes that may not, there's going to be some games where he may be sub 60% passing. I don't think every game is going to be 26 for 31 like this, obviously, but I think the chunk yards, like even if he has a game where it's 18 of 32, he could still throw for 300 yards on those 18 passes with the type of explosives he's creating. I mean, that's impressive. That was a bad throw. He didn't give him a chance at all. 4th and 15. Now we get to Hunt. That's where we're going to be just too much for people. That's where we're going to be too much for people. Obvious passing downs like that where, like somebody said earlier, it can be almost like a NASCAR package and just that's when you can start. That's when you can start flying a field and doing all that fun stuff, right? That's where it gets fun. We did a game with Baron Sorrell. It didn't. That's what they need to be doing with Julian saying. If Ohio State's able to run the ball, then we need to be concerned because Julian saying is going to be very accurate. I think just naturally. I think he's got some of the same type of characteristics, footwork wise and accuracy wise, as Arch does. So if he's able to just be comfortable and throw the ball on his terms, then you know that'll be an issue because he has the weapons. Jeremiah Smith, Mylan Graham, Max Clare, um, Carnell Tate. He has the weapons in the passing game. Yeah, they did lose both the backs, Henderson and Judkins, but they did get C.J. Donaldson from West Virginia. Very good runner. We saw him a couple years ago. And then Peoples, who's a big recruit, is taking over. So new runner, but a talented runner. New quarterback, but a talented quarterback, right? No, we're not watching Vanderbilt today. Yeah, Donaldson and Peoples are good. They'll be good. They'll be good backs. Now, will they be Travion Henderson and Quinshon Judkins right off the bat? No. We'll we'll see. We'll see what the offensive line does. Again, there's going to be some discovery that we're going to have to do or figure out because they ended with Chip Kelly and them making up an offense in the playoffs that they just all of a sudden went to running counter 70% of the time and crushing people with that. And they did that because of some of the injuries that they had. Remember, they ran out of tackles essentially. Now, unfortunately, we weren't able to exploit that, right? And they did a great job of getting the ball to their playmakers in all their playoff games. But I'm curious to see what it's going to look like under what Brian Hartline, who will be calling plays for the first time, allegedly, because I think Ryan Day's, I don't know if he's really going to let him just go all the way out there calling it on his own. They say he is. But we'll see. Because the last time he was the coordinator, Ryan Day was the play caller. So we'll see how much bandwidth he gives Hartline. But right now, in terms of their known commodities, Jeremiah Smith is, the best receiver in college football. You have Mylan Graham opposite of him, who is going to be a superstar. Carnell Tate had 7 catches for 87 yards against us in the Cotton Bowl, and a former 5-star. And then Max Clare, they've got a freaking stud at every position. Mylan, I don't think people understand how good Mylan Graham's going to be. He's going to be a superstar, and that's opposite of Jeremiah Smith. So we'll see. That's why the line of scrimmage is going to be key for Pete Kwiatkowski. I agree. First-time coordinator, PK and this defensive line, they're going to have to make it to where Ohio State is very uncomfortable and almost trying to hide Julian Sayin just from a standpoint of not having him drop back consistently. Things of that sort, right? But we'll see. I think I've said this throughout the offseason. I'll continue to say it until August 30th gets here. I think the game in Columbus is going to be a very defensive heavy game from both sides. I think it's going to be a low scoring game. It's the first game of the year. Both of the defenses I like a lot. Both of the defenses have some of the best players in the country. All the players that have been lost on both sides to the draft. And considering that this wasn't even really a high scoring game in the Cotton Bowl when all these people were here. I mean, the game was 28-14. And 7 of those was the Jack Sawyer fumble from Quinn. So I don't know. I think it's going to be I think it's going to be like a 17-14, 20 to 16 type game. Something in around that range. I don't see it being, I don't think they're going to get into the 30s. I'll put it that way. I don't think they're going to get into the 30s. So, yeah, no, the secondary did a great job against Smith, but they were still able to move the ball effectively to their tight end. And like I said, it allowed Tate and Emeka Akuba to eat. That's the thing. They didn't need to force the ball to Jeremiah Smith. Now, we did a great job with Jeremiah Smith, but they didn't need to force the ball to him. It'd be great if we could roll out of bed and score 30 in Columbus. Sign me up. Sign me up. I'm not going to put that type of pressure on our offense in the first game with 4 new offensive linemen, and I don't really understand what the rotation is going to look like with my receivers yet. And I want those 3 games to figure that out in September. That's why I think we're going to be throwing the ball to tight ends and running backs a lot in that Columbus game, and we'll generate our plays where we can, and be smart and lean on our defense as we should. And then I think we'll really open it up September, so that by the time we go to Florida, we're full go. By the time we go to Florida, we should know, okay, these are dudes that are going to be the receivers, because there's going to be guys that are close in practice and they're not sure. They're going to have to figure this out in the season before Sark really locks in on his rotation. So Howard was very experienced. I like Texas's chance in this game. I like the opportunity for Texas. I do. But the same way, we can't get defensive about when people talk about the production we've lost and we're excited about the people coming back, and not give Ohio State the same benefit of the doubt. That's what I don't like. Like, Ohio State lost a lot, just as much, if not more, than we did. But they are reloading with very talented pieces, very good football. Some people that will be stars by the end of the year that you don't know their names yet. So we can't say that for our side and then not give them the benefit of the doubt on the other side. That's why I think it's going to be a very, very competitive football game. And Ryan Day has proven to be a very, very good head coach. I don't think this is like a Michigan thing, because Michigan didn't have a quarterback. They had no way to get Loveland and all those guys the football. I do think, even though Julian Sand will be very young, I do think he'll be more ramped and ready to play than what we saw from, who did we even play? Davis Warren or whatever his name was, like Alex Orgy. Like, I don't know. They haven't confirmed Sand is starting. Sand's going to start. If Lincoln Kleinhold beats him out, that would be fascinating. If they have not named it, but Julian Sand was supposed to be all world, better than DJ Lagway out of that class. We saw what Lagway did as a freshman. Julian Sand was ranked right there with him, and that was really Nick Saban's last big quarterback recruit, was Julian Sand. He's at Ohio State because Nick Saban retired, or else he wouldn't even be there. Remember, they had Devin Brown. Ohio State did. They had Devin Brown. So I think it's going to be Sand. the way that things looked in their spring game, I don't know how many people watched the Ohio State spring game. It felt like he was the starter to me. I thought he was the best quarterback that they had in terms of running the offense to me. And when I think about, again, they have these insane playmakers. I want the person like Lincoln Kleinholz is more like a gamer and he can run around a little bit, but like, oh, I don't know. Be interesting. It'll be interesting. Yeah, no, Ohio State's you know, top heavy. I can see where you're going with that, David. The other thing too is the two matchups, right? Coaching wise. Um, yeah, Kleinholtz, he was young in that Cotton Bowl. I don't know if I'm going to hold that against him. Him and Devin Brown had no idea what was happening in that Missouri game. Coach Baker ate them up. Coach Baker ate them up. That was bad. That was bad. But um, Matt Patricia versus Sark. That like we're at a Matt Patricia versus Sark and PK versus Heartline / Ryan Day. That's essentially what we're looking at. I don't know. I've liked Sark recently against some of these NFL guys that have come into college. I thought Sark did a great job preparing for Wink and some of the pressure packages. Now, Matt Patricia's very different from Wink Martindale, but that's also Matt Patricia's going to be his first game running that defense with um, with Ohio State. We know Knowles has gone to Penn State, which is interesting, coming off a natty. So I think these matchups, these are as we get closer to the game, in a few weeks. I think people, I know we will on this channel, but I think people are going to start to dial in more on these particular matchups, especially as once we know we get an idea from fall camp, right? Ohio State names their starter in fall camp at some point. And we really, really get that good sense. We can dive into it more. But the matchups, Matt Patricia versus Sark is going to be interesting to me. Because I feel like Sark gonna have something for him. I really do. In terms of moving the ball, now again, I'm not saying we're gonna come out here. This is not a roll out the bed and score 30 game. I'm not. That's not what I'm saying. And if we do that, Arch gonna be him, like immediately. I'm not saying that. But if we can take care of the football, run the ball well, and show that we are willing to attack explosively, like we've seen in these two Arch games, or three Arch games if you count UTSA, combined with the defense and combined with improved special teams, I feel like we're in a great spot on the road. This is Arch's first road start too. Got to consider that as well. First time he started a road game. So a lot going in, but I'm ready to put the pads on. I'm tired of the gun bumping on Twitter and Facebook and all these other platforms. It's time for football to get here. It can't get here soon enough. Make sure y'all subscribe, hit the like button. The whole thing is free to show love. I know we went a little longer today, just chit-chatting with y'all as well. But we're going to be having a lot of live sessions here, so get used to it. We will be back tomorrow evening watching the Red River rivalry, Texas versus OU, where we went full belt to ass on them. So if you want to get your popcorn and have some fun tomorrow night, come join me. We will be watching Texas versus OU. So with that being said, I appreciate y'all. Remember, horns always up. Hook 'em.